Hello, this is the trade site Forex market preview and international economic data roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, the 3rd of November, ending Friday, the 8th of November, 2019. Here's a look at the dollar index daily chart. So the dollar has declined. Here's the sad thing, even though we've had a steep drop for a couple of weeks, we're back in the middle of a very narrow range that we've been in for the last year. Let's look at the daily charts, and then we'll go from there. Euro dollar has obviously climbed as the dollar has gone the other way. It's kind of the inverse chart of the dollar. Pound dollar had a big pop a couple weeks ago. Got a 9-bar startup phase completed. Has been sitting there ever since. Didn't do much. This week, the Aussie dollar has also not done much. The euro yen has been dead flat for 10 days. The pound yen has been dead flat for 10 days. Pound Swiss has been dead flat for 10 days. And the New Zealand dollar is on the rise here a little bit. All right, let's take a look at the 30-minute candle so we can see the entire week. High to low for the week on the euro dollar was only 100 pips, and big pop was on Wednesday. Remember, we had a Fed meeting this week. On the pound, high to low for the week is only 160. That's really bad for the pound. And again, most of it was a big drift until the Fed announcement. Then there was a move up on Wednesday to Thursday after the Fed announcement. That was it. So the only real move was there. A couple days this week where nothing triggered, and it's just not really interesting overall. All right, in terms of economic data coming out this week. Let's take a look. So we've got, we just had the time change. That usually takes a day to factor in, so I don't think tonight's going to be very interesting. Remember, there's just different countries on different zones here. So we've got the MI inflation gauge out of Australia. We've got the bank holiday out of Japan, retail sales out of Australia. On Monday, we've got the SECO consumer climate out of Switzerland. And then we've got the manufacturing PMI numbers out of Spain, Italy, France, Germany, and the broad European sector, and then the UK. All in a row there. That's within like an hour and a half. They all come out separately. Factory orders here in the U.S. at, it says 11 a.m. Eastern time. I don't think that's right. I think we're an hour ahead there. I think it's 10 a.m. Eastern time. So I think all these times are shifted off. Oh, yeah, they're shifted off one time zone. So let's switch this to, yeah. Okay, so a little bit different there. All right, we've got the loan officer survey. After that, we've got the AIG Services Index out of Australia, Japan's monetary base, ANZ commodity prices out of New Zealand, Caxton Services PMI out of China that Monday night, and then a rate announcement out of the Australia at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. Tuesday, we've got the French government budget balance, doesn't matter, early in the wee hours. Spanish unemployment change, services PMI out of the UK, PPI out of Europe, Canada's trade balance, and then the US trade balance. That's one of our big three each month. So we would be half size ahead of Tuesday. Final services PMI out of the US, ISM non-manufacturing PMI out of the US, JOLTS job openings, IBD tip economic optimism. Tuesday, 4:45, employment change in the unemployment rate and labor cost index. Monetary policy meeting minutes at 6:50 p.m. Eastern time out of Japan. 10-year bond auction. We've got Wednesday. German factory orders, Spanish services PMI, Italian, French, German, and the final European services PMI numbers. Retail sales out of Europe. Non-farm productivity out of the U.S. Labor costs out of the U.S. IV PMI out of Canada. Crude oil inventories out of the U.S. 10-year bond auction here in the U.S. AIG Construction Index out of Australia, trade balance out of Australia. And then Thursday, German industrial production, foreign currency reserves out of Switzerland, Halifax HPI out of the UK, ECB economic bulletin out of Europe, Italian retail sales, EU economic forecasts, Spanish 10-year bond auction, Eurogroup meetings, French, we got the French 10-year bond auction, Bank of England inflation report, and the rate announcement. So it's a Bank of England rate announcement at 7 a.m. Eastern time on Thursday. Unemployment claims, the initial and continuing jobless claims numbers on Thursday here in the U.S. 30-year bond auction, consumer credit, household spending. Australia's got their home loans numbers and their statement from their Fed equivalent from the rate announcement on Sunday night. Leading indicators out of Japan, unemployment rate out of Switzerland, German trade balance out of Europe, French industrial production and preliminary private payrolls, trade balance out of France. That's Friday at 2:45 a.m. Eastern time. Housing starts and the unemployment change, the unemployment rate out of Canada on Friday, and then the University of Michigan sentiment, final wholesale inventories here in the U.S., China puts out their CPI and PPI over the weekend. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken the trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple of weeks. Have a great trading